In the bottom left, playing as Valder, we have Stargen against Emeric, in the top right, being played by Zested. So, getting kind of regular center route here. This sword's going up through this side. And this is kind of like the more modern opening you see people do on this map, where they skip pretty much this village entirely, and then they go up here, capture from here, and then they go over here. And yeah, we're seeing it again. Stargen just skipping this capture here. And you know, it actually makes sense. Like, sometimes you just don't want economy that badly. You want to have your commander heal up. Be it a better positional, or say a better positional, a better position on the map. They're both players just gonna mirror each other. Makes a lot of sense. My sword gets a hit here. Nothing on this side to kind of counterplay that, but Stargen, they're gonna knock this village down. At an awkward time, turn 5 is like the turn you don't want to be hitting stuff with Valder. It's not like the worst thing in the world, but it does mean that Valder doesn't get the same benefit he would otherwise. And now what are we seeing? More hits. This sword actually getting very low, but stays alive because, you know, it was on a mountain. Ooh, and a dragon comes out from Stargen. Picks off a sword for free. Emeric looking a little bit vulnerable. We're going to see a sword crit up on here. This sword's going to be on a mountain as well, so perfectly defended. And it just moves the sword forward a bit as well. They were pretty nicely covered. And Zested, kind of recognizing, oh, this side isn't going so good. We're just going to see them do a lot of damage. Knocks down 2 villagers with knights.
This should protect us.
And sets up a crystal in a good position. There are mages underneath it as well. So all this is mage crit now. And there's a weird interaction where there's like a road where like a mage can still take a ton of damage from a dragon. And just like do a lot of damage in return. Okay, what's Emeric gonna do here? Looking very difficult to defend on this left hand side. There's a lot of stuff here from Valder. Just kind of swarming right now. The sword retreats and keeps the knight in range.
Rise from your
Okay,
grave.
and now we're just gonna see another rise from grave, more damage coming in. Potentially gonna see the sword go down. No, it decides not to. Doesn't want to overextend. Does some good damage, and they're gonna kind of fall back a little bit. You know, they have a little bit of an economy lead. Like they knock this village down, and this village is still up. It's like double dragon here as well. This village actually not going to go down this turn. So, yeah, what can happen here? There's actually only just now a mage, so this dragon going to be very annoying to deal with. Valder gets the capture. Could have actually been aggressive there and taken that village down, but there's no anti-air covering that, so yeah, Stargen elects not to go for that. Just wants to keep everything in range of this mage. Okay. Sword knocks it down, Emeric gets the capture. This sword is going to sit in a very annoying position. Very difficult to break this, actually. Stargen slowly shuffling forwards. That lack of mage that one turn really hurt them, because this army basically had to just pull back. And now it's all getting shuffled. And I think Stargen's just looking to put a lot of pressure on the stronghold. They have a lot of units over here. And Zested recognizes that they can just knock that village down again, so they go for it. Sees a heal on the crystal. Wants to keep this defensive formation up for an extra turn. Okay, now Stargen takes that village down. And they're kind of just like doing a lot of repositioning, lots of shuffling. Keeping a wall of very cheap units and Valder in the front. Ooh, see a dog get a nice hit. We see a dog get a really good crit follow up as well. Will Stargen be able to get a good punish here? That's the big question. Oh, that witch is in range of the mage? Yeah, it's just going to go down for essentially free. And you know, there's mages behind this as well, so. Ooh, Valder's being very aggressive here. But I do like it, because they can afford to be. I'm very curious what this dragon's going to do, because you don't want to leave it in range of your opponent's mage. Oh, just elects not to do anything with it. Probably could have seen that go forward and be a little bit more aggressive, but decides not to. Crystal breaks. There was a heal on it, but it didn't do enough. Dog doesn't get the kill. This mage wall is going to continue to exist. And I think Zested just took a little bit too much damage. And there's so much Valder. There's just like so many swords on this bottom left hand side. How do you break that? And I guess the answer to that question is you don't. Okay, Stargen. Oh, finds a mage. Oh, that's really rough, because that's actually a lot of the anti-hero. Actually, the only anti-hero on this left-hand side. And now, because of that, Stargen can just run forward and do a ton of damage. And so long as they keep enough to protect their stronghold, which, you know, there's a golem and a mage over here, I think they're fine. And oh, he even gets the, I believe that was a night crit on that dog. And just more armies kind of surging forward. They're doing so much damage every turn. The stronghold, oh, is looking a little bit vulnerable. There's like 3 knights and a dragon. Actually 2 dragons. So Zested could just dart forwards and try and go for the stronghold. But no, they're walling their own. Alright, so 1 knight moves into position. Okay. Yeah, Stargen all of a sudden actually has to care about defending. Really nice damage over on that side. Golem comes forward. A little bit of a vulnerable position. Like, there is a dragon and a mage crit that could potentially take it down. But we'll see. And wow, they're just kind of swarming this bottom right hand side. Just so many swords to work with. Like, Stargen has a pretty big unit lead at this point, and yeah, everything's coming back to defend. They have the economy advantage. Like, they've had it for a little bit of time. Like, it's been a little bit back and forth, but I think generally leaning towards Stargen, and now they take this top left, they take this bottom right, and Zested's just gonna have to kind of struggle a bit in the meantime. And now everything kind of comes forward. You've got that really good mage crystal to work with. All those area units are going to be basically invincible. Alright, takes damage on the golem instead of the sword, but I won't question it too much. Yeah, they're just going for more and more economy advantage. They just have to care about dying. That's like the main thing they have to worry about. Okay. What can Zested do here? They can take out that. Oh no, that's really bad. Is this death? Oh, actually, it comes very close. I think they needed to hit it from below. Yeah, Witch Hex just for that extra damage. Everything comes forward now. And it's just going to be a question of, can this all get cleaned up in time? Another Witch Hex coming in just for a little bit more chip damage. Alright, Witch goes down. Stargen, they've got hexes. They hit a lot of stuff with that hex. The second hex comes in, does a ton of damage too. Another kill coming in. Valder, alright, a little bit vulnerable, but more armies is going to surge forward this turn and do damage. The knight goes down. Are we going to see the dragon? Yeah, the dragon takes one mage, takes a second. Another knight comes in. And I think Stargen's done it. I think they've defended. More and more damage coming in. The witch goes down as well, even though it was under crystal. And yeah, like this is just so much stuff at the front here. More and more units going down. Is the mage going to go down? Yeah, it will. But just so much mobility on the side of Stargen. And yeah, there's this whole army from Zested going down. And I like the push. They didn't have quite enough. They needed like one extra turn just to like, or like an extra side open. But yeah, it wasn't quite enough in the end. Can they actually break through? They might be able to. Oh, Knight Suicide. Is this actually going to work? Oh, it lived on 1%. Oh, and suddenly picking off that mage at the back was like absolutely key, because if they'd had a mage heal that they could drop down on Emeric, that actually would have lived. Oh no, that wouldn't have lived, sorry. Like he would have actually gotten the kill. So, very nicely done there. And that's Stargen taking that game. And if we just take a quick look at these charts at the end, I'm just going to give these a quick refresh. So income. Stargen was actually doing really well. Yeah, Stargen doing really well all game. And then towards the last few turns. Oh, wait, no, I'm getting them mixed up. Emeric doing really well. Zested doing very well in economy, actually. I thought Stargen was ahead, but no. Emeric actually had a really nice lead, and then towards the end, yeah, just massive losses. And you can kind of see it on this chart as well. Like the army value just plummets towards the end, but it was still like going pretty rough for him for a few turns. And then unit count just dropping on those last 4 or 5 turns. Yeah. But yeah, Stargen almost lost everything at the end there. One mage heal on Emeric would have done it. There's a really good knight crit with the low health knight as well, just to line up that damage. But yeah, that was a lot of fun. Well played.